Good afternoon. Welcome back to all the students and staff. Uh, for all you parents and guests who are watching online, I'm pleased to welcome you to the closing ceremonies of the 2021 Collegiate World Series Part 2, or second one. I want to take a couple minutes just to acknowledge all the hard work that's been done by just the students who spent a good bit of time really working hard and trying to puzzle through some challenging option, or I guess challenging proposals we gave to them to work through, and to acknowledge the staff, both our senior mentors who spent time working directly with the students, as well as the NHI staff who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to put everything together to make this program work. My name is John Lopez. I had the honor of serving as the educational director for this program. I am a member of the LDZ class of 1983. So this is my 38th year with NHI, and I am currently the vice chair of our board of trustees. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I saw in the past few days working with these young people. Last week, we went through the league series, where they competed in various events built around the college admission process. And I got to see some of their applications and some of their essays, and they really had good stories to tell. And I think they're going to be positioned to do very well when they start to apply to colleges this fall. The past couple of days, we've worked on inquiry-based learning, which is a decision-making tool that will help them to navigate the next few years of their lives and to have a systematic way to approach some of the more complex decisions that they're going to have to make. And I watched them compete over 4 rounds. And one of the things we're going to be doing tonight is announcing which team won the competition over those 4 rounds. But it has been very exciting and exhilarating to watch them grow, to watch them struggle with difficult concepts and to push themselves and to share their ideas with their peers. So it has been very enjoyable to me. This is for all of these students, this is the end of their NHI experience as participants. And so this is a way of kind of gaining a goodbye to that part of the experience, but it is not the end. For many students, the NHI experience continues on as volunteers, as staff members, as board members. And so, this is just one transition. One of the young people who worked with the students over the past few days is going to be asked to come up and read a poem. And this is something that we've done over the past several years at these kinds of ceremonies with other CWS programs. And so I'm going to turn it over here to Yulisa Rodriguez, who is going to be a freshman at Texas A&M University this fall.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be reading a poem called It Couldn't Be Done by Edgar Albert Guest. Somebody said that it couldn't be done, but he with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So he buckled right in with the trace of a grin on his face. If he worried, he hid it. He started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one ever has done it." But he took off his coat and he took off his hat, and the first thing we knew, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quitting, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle in with a bit of a grin. Just take off your coat and go to it. Just start in to sing as you tackle the thing that cannot be done, and you'll do it. Back to you, John.
Yes, since 1979, NHI has built a legacy around that idea. People saying you can't do this, you can't do that, and we've had the people, the volunteers, the staff who somehow have managed to ignore the naysayers and just do it. And the past year has demonstrated that more clearly, I think, than I've seen in a long time. And just the ability of the staff and the volunteers to come together and take our programs online for the first time and to create the experiences that we've been able to provide for young people ever since last summer. So NHI is one of those organizations that is built around the idea of having faith in yourself and faith in your ability to do things. One of the key people over the past year who's done a lot of this and made things happen is someone that I met 38 years ago when I was a high school sophomore and she was an eighth grader. She came and visited the Texas LDZ with her cheerleading group and provided they kind of provided some entertainment during our Noche Loca back then. She graduated from Vassar College and has master's degrees in business administration from the University of Texas and from El Tec de Monterrey. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Nicole Nieto, the Chief Financial Officer and Executive Vice President of the National Hispanic Institute.
It just gives me so much joy to be here this afternoon with you at the CWS. And John, thank you so much for that intro and all the people who have made this CWS possible. And Yulissa, I loved listening to the poem because every single day we are always confronted with what often seems like a bigger mountain to climb than any of us can. And each day we have to soldier up and kind of put on our boots, and we have a cell phone with like these ridiculously talented and amazing people all inside this cell phone, and they're NHIers, you know, all my contacts. And I don't know how many times where I haven't known an answer, but somebody out there in my NHI community can help. And so I just wanted to let you know that, I mean, from the very top of structures of our country's political society to the person down the street who can get us tacos really fast because everybody's hungry and we're doing a program or something. I mean, just the amount of talent that's been developed in our alumni network and that feel like family, that you can call it any day, any night, just text them and they will be there to try to help you and help make that mountain seem possible to climb, not impossible. And I think that honestly, I love the CWS so much because what it does is it opens your mind to what might be possible if you ask yourself the right questions and get to the root of the challenge and then design certain answers that may not yet exist. So I think that when you're out in the world with this kind of background and experience and you begin to apply it again and again, you'll see things that open up to you that others sometimes can't see. And so your poem, Yulissa, makes it very obvious to the NHIer who's been through this kind of work. And there's other organizations that do similar work, the National Training Laboratory, people who have to really think in big terms. And I just love working with CWSers who come back to the organization and we have these monumental challenges. Nobody knows how we're going to do it. And those are the people, the go-to people, is the people who stuck it out, who completed the process and who really moved forward. So congratulations for going through the brain fry of it. Sometimes it feels a little frustrating, but that means you were challenged. So congratulations on that. And I just wanted to also echo that this is only the beginning. John and I were 15, 16 when we were introduced to NHI and we're still here. Julio, the same as your education director. There's been people who've been around the organization for 40 years, and this has been a consistent place where they hang their hat every year and continue the work. And so there are tremendous opportunities for you to grow and to help us refine our own direction and our curriculum and to come back and make a difference here in the organization. And before, there were so many barriers, right? You know, like distance and can you fly in or not? And one thing this pandemic has done, at least for NHI, has made it very commonplace to use tools like Zoom and get together in these kind of thinking matters that we need help with. So just congratulations. I want you to know you're part of us. You're part of our familia. You're part of our team. And we're just so lucky to have you. And you're always going to be a member of this organization. I also wanted to just point out that there's these sponsors out there that make it possible. We have some slides. I'm not sure if they have them there, but in the event we don't have them, I just wanted to thank, we have sponsors who put up funds to help with our recognition, with our trophies, with our certificates, the University of North Texas, Schreiner University. These are all organizations and that come together to help make these programs possible. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Wells Fargo Bank, we're building. We went out and got some feedback from our recent 2021 graduates and said, what were the biggest shockers to you guys about financial aid? And we interviewed them and we surveyed them. You may have filled out surveys yourself about where is it sort of taboo for you? And we're getting that information from our members so that we can put that together and bring it to you at another time in a more elaborate fashion. So we just want to thank Wells Fargo and thank everybody who's been involved. And we'll see you here at HQ or we'll see you online. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicole. Next, I'm going to hand it over to the Senior Vice President of NHI, someone who, like Nicole said, started out as a 15-year-old participant. He's a graduate of Boston University and has a master's degree from St. Edward's University, Mr. Julio Cotto.
Thank you very much, John, and just a warm welcome here from the NHI Mansion. You can't see behind me, but I'm actually in this building. You see here on my Zoom background. I'm joined with Anel, and I want to thank everyone watching, the parents, the schools, the partners, of course, all of our sponsors that you see right here that Nicole mentioned. We just couldn't have done it without you. And before I share some remarks about some of the tokens and gifts that will be coming our seniors' way in the coming weeks, we wanted to share what is the next step, right? There's no high school program that continues, but this summer and last summer, even during the pandemic, we were blessed, and actually you had a chance to work with some of them this week and last week. There are John F. Lopez interns, and these are students that after a first year of college, they are eligible to come and be part of a 10-week internship here at the Institute, and we decided we want the CWSers to know about it early. So as you make this transition, that you also keep in mind that as you have your college plans, you have an opportunity to spend 10 intensive weeks putting on these programs, helping us staff. So I'm going to pass it to Anel, who's going to share that final video before we continue on with our program.
Hi, my name is Debony Guerrero and I attend Sewanee, the University of the South. The JFL internship at NHI to me means being part of an organization that is in support of helping the future Latino community, as well as giving me the opportunity to become a leader myself. From this experience, I have been working with Nicole Nieto, who is the Executive Vice President, and she has been coaching me on how to construct emails, learning how to do outreach, and also learning how to communicate with people over the phone. I value all of these skills that I've been learning because in the future, I would like to major in international and global studies, and I feel that this internship has been preparing me professionally so that I learn how to make those connections with people I have never met. I encourage NHI students to take the opportunity of becoming a JFL intern because it allows them to progress in everything that they have learned in previous programs, such as the GDX, LDZ, and the CWS. I think that this would be a great opportunity to learn what it is to have a supervisor or a boss and learning how to handle those different kinds of responsibilities along the way so they can be prepared for their future. All in all, take advantage of all of your opportunities in life y dale ganas.
Thank you, Debony. And I know some of you had a chance to work with Debony last week in the league series, and we can't thank her and Sawani enough, and all of the interns that we have with us also on the call. So in the few weeks after this program concludes, in just a few moments, we will be preparing to make sure that there are some tokens and gifts that will be coming your way. As some of the parents will be able to see, many of the students are already displaying some customized backgrounds, that those are to represent the honor cords that will be coming their way. Some students may have already received them. The rest of you will receive them in the coming weeks. And the honor cords are either one color, two color, or three colors, the NHI colors of red, red and black, or red, black, and white. And those symbolize how many NHI high school program experiences did the students participate. I know I would have been having a red one myself. I only did the LDZ as a junior, but we are all members of the family, but that distinguishes, a little bit about what your NHI journey was from another student. So you will actually have cords that are going to be in your hand. And I do see some of the older students are wearing them, and some of the staff, which is great. Those honor cords, you can wear them at graduation. You can wear them in your pictures. You also will be receiving the official NHI High School Academy diploma for completion of, as John said, the high school academy component of NHI. But John, Nicole, all of us can tell you that your NHI journey is a much, much longer, and actually gets, I think, a little bit more fun after the high school years. So you will receive your high school academy NHI diploma in the mail, and it'll be arriving for your senior activities. There will also be some senior seminars that we plan to have online and in person as we little by little start to visit your communities, as things do start to hopefully continue to get safer, not just here in the United States, but all over the Americas. So that, wanted to make sure that you also know your official CWSx t-shirt, badge, and journal to go with your collection of NHI memorabilia that many of you have been collecting since freshman year. Those will also be coming your way in the coming weeks. And of course, if there's any challenges or problems, you can just contact us at the office or on Discord. But do know that those will be coming your way, and we want to make sure that those gifts are received and that you know about them in advance, and the parents and the schools, so that you can display them later on in your senior year. And so with that, congratulations to you, class of 2022. And I know we have a few of class of 2021 students that are also with us, completing out the second half of their journey. And with that, I will pass it to John, who will introduce our student speaker for the evening.
So every year when we do this ceremony, we invite one student to come and share some thoughts about their NHI experience as they prepare to leave the high school experiences with NHI. The particular student we've selected today is from Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico, is a graduate of El Tec de Monterrey. She was a participant in the 2018 Northeast Great Debate, the 2019 New York LDZ. She went to Celebración in 2018 and did part 1 of the CWS last summer in 2020, and then completes the CWS part 2 today. Our student speaker, Ms. Ana Gobel.
Thank you so much. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm gonna be telling you a little story. So before getting to my New York LDC, I lost my connection flight. I also lost my passport, and my luggage did not arrive. Gonzalo was there too. We were like 8 kids there alone in the Manhattan airport, figuring out what to do next, figuring out how would we arrive to Rochester the next day for the program, where would we stay for the night, because we were kids, we were all under 18, so we couldn't just check in a hotel. NHI contacted an alumni that was nearby where we were, and they managed to get us to the Bronx the next day, and from there we took an 8-hour bus to Rochester, where as tired as and lost as we were, we began our LDC, which looking back was the experience that for me describes NHI's teaching the most. From day -1, we were already being treated like family. From day 1, I met so many people from all around with so many stories, with so many ideas. During the program, not only was everyone giving their hearts and souls into their speeches, into completing the challenges for this specific position. But I also saw how everyone was being positive, having fun, singing and dancing from one room to another, participating in the talent show, helping each other out, having some intense before night talks in the dot groups, literally engaging with enthusiasm and rigor. Those kids lost in the airport, who later became the most distinguished senator, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, or even the winning proposals, grew so much during that LDC. We learned how to use the voice we had discovered during the great debate, and we learned that anything we wanted to achieve or accomplish was possible if we understood the process that that specific goal required and if we behaved like stakeholders to accomplish it. NHI gave me friends, long life friends. It gave me confidence. It gave me skills. It taught me that even during a global pandemic, if something has such great purpose, it will continue doing good. It taught me to stand up for myself, and it helped me to road my future. During the programs, I discovered a passion for social change that grew so much that now I'm wanting to pursue a career called transformational business and social impact that, thanks to the tools and help NHI has given me, plus some outside efforts and lots of support, I will be beginning this fall. Anyway, that's some part of my NHI journey, but here we are now, all of us, finishing our participant journey together in our last program, CWS, where we have learned that once we have a voice and once we know how to use it, we now have to go to the real life and make sure that that voice and know-how is used to make decisions that will benefit ourselves and hopefully as NHIers, our Latino community. During the LDC, we were constantly told, it's our LDC, it's your LDC, but now it's no longer our LDC. Now it's our college, now it's our career, now it's our families, it's our legacy. Now if something it's meant to be, it's up to us. So with every tool NHI has given us in the last 3 years or less, or 2, or right now, what life are we gonna build? Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you, Ana. Okay, so at this time, I'd like to ask all the students to go ahead and make sure your cameras are on. We're going to recognize each of you, read your name, and spotlight you on the screen. This is a recognition of the work you've put in as an NHI participant. And so just make sure your camera's on when I call your name out. Jesus Berlanga. Sofia Boyar. Apolline Brossard. Helen Canales. Teresa Castro. Gabriel Cueto. Brooklyn Garza. Ana Gobel. Lauren Gonzalez. Juan Hernández Romo. Nathaniel Lara. Gonzalo Lira. Maria Longoria Sierra. Annie Mesa. Vanessa Morales. Christopher Munoz. Alec Pedraza. Martha Robledo. Elena Rojas. Lillian Salas. Erica Sen. Ana Paulina Serrano. Sarah Solis. Eric Torres. And Mia Warren. Congratulations to the NHI class of 2021. So this is, in addition to a graduation ceremony, it's an award ceremony. We had a little competition over the past couple of days, and I'm going to turn it over to our tournament director, who's going to announce the top two teams and then the winners. Turning it over to Julio Cotto.
Okay. And now for the results. So after 4 rounds of IBL competition, it ultimately came down, if you remember a few hours ago, this tournament between the first and fourth place teams was within 10 points. And every round you could earn up to over 170 points. And 2 rounds ago, it was within 10 points. And this time around, the winners were within 8 points. Third and fourth were within 1 point of each other. So it was tight, and actually every team kept taking the lead. But I want to give a special congratulations, and if we can give an applause there, you can unmute or you can use the Zoom feature. But our top 2 teams in the CWSx, Yellow Caliente and Natalie's Angels, those were our top 2 teams. And as you heard me say, it came down to just 8 points after 4 rounds. And the team that ends up taking the CWSx 2 is the team of Yellow Caliente, the team of Rachel Jimenez, Elena Rojas, Jesus Berlanga, Marta Robledo, Sofia Boyar, Erica Sen, Apolline Brassard, Lauren Gonzalez, and senior mentor, Yulisa Rodriguez. And thank you, Yulisa, for coming and being part of the staff. And not only with the poem, but actually you also got to lead the championship team. So congratulations to our Yellow Caliente team. Team again, Rachel Jimenez from Avon, New York, Elena Rojas from Waxahachie, Texas, Waxahachie High School, Jesus Berlanga and Marta Robledo from Brownsville, Idea Frontier High School, Sofia Boyar from Lenape High School in Mount Laurel Township, New Jersey, Erica Sen in Miami, Florida by way of Boquete, Panama, and Apolline Brassard from Houston, Texas. Congratulations to all of you for all your hard work and for just really diving into the IBL challenge so much. And in fact, I just want to make a final plug here. For those of you that are interested, in just less than 2 weeks, we will be launching LDZx, which will be our first online evolution of what was the LDZ legislative session. It will be a new program, some similar experiences, but we are still looking for some staff. So if those of you are interested and you don't want your NHI summer to send, shoot me a message on Discord later tonight or later this week, because we still are looking for some staff that want to be part of the virtual LDZx history. And so we wanted to extend that invitation to you, the class of CWSx. I'm going to ask Anel if she can help me with recognizing some final set of individuals who were integral to the entire CWSx2 experience. These were our volunteers. These were students that, they took 5 days off their summer to be with you. A few of them are interns, and this was part of their praxis, part of their work, and part of their learning. And some of them were also volunteers that decided that they were going to make a couple days of their summer sitting behind a screen with you, investing in your leadership development as well as their own. We'll begin with our championship coach, a student from Laredo, Texas originally, Yulisa Rodriguez, who read that wonderful poem for us. Thank you, Yulisa, for being a part of the staff again. Our senior mentors, a sophomore at Houston Community College from Houston, Texas, Ms. Natalie Medina. Natalie, thank you so much. We know that your team were big fans, and she's got her cords there and her CWS garb. These next two individuals are very special. They are John F. Lopez interns. That's right, they're interns named after the living legend himself, John F. Lopez, who was one of NHI's, if not the first intern, a sophomore at the University of Chicago, originally from Colorado. Brianna Maestas. Brianna, if you're still with us, thank you so much. This is, I think, her third, maybe fourth program logged in with NHI this summer. Originally from Colorado, student at University of Chicago. Also a student at the University of Chicago, a John F. Lopez intern as well from Norfolk, Nebraska, doing her third NHI experience ever. Melissa Flores. Melissa, if you're there, thank you for being with us. And our production, also of John F. Lopez intern, not sure if she can spotlight herself, but she's right next to me here, originally from Torreon, Mexico, a junior at Universidad La Salle. Anel Borque, thank you so much, Anel, she's one of our business interns here this summer, but this week she was spent it here and last week behind the controls. And with that, I thank you, I congratulate you. I'm not gonna say anything else. I think you heard from me enough this week, but what a great inspiration, what a great opportunity hearing your ideas, hearing your words, and just seeing your faces every morning logged in here. I'm gonna pass it to two individuals who are joining us this evening, and you heard from them earlier in the program. And I'm going to let them have the near final words, and then John F. Lopez will send us home with his final thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, the founders of the National Hispanic Institute, live from Kyle, Texas, in their home, Ernesto Nieto and Gloria De Leon. Thank you for being with us, Ernie and Gloria.
Here, can you hear us? Thank you so much, everybody. Seniors, those of you who are rising seniors and you're facing your final year in high school, and those of you who have consistently returned back to NHI programs, and particularly this program. Being able to learn and master the inquiry-based learning, as I was thinking about it over and over again, and the staff is always talking about it. The reality is that you're being given one of the greatest gifts in the whole world, because you're being given the opportunity to question, to constantly question, evaluate, deduct, deduce, and plan out things that are going to affect the rest of your life. But more importantly, and it isn't until you're an adult that you're going to realize that what it really does is it allows you, and you give yourself permission to think. And it is a luxury. It is a luxury. I've told Ernie before, Ernie comes into his office and he sits there and he's like this, just typing away, and prints out just hundreds of pages of thought and things like that. And I've always told him, I said, you do have the luxury to think. And it is a skill. It's something that you master. So I hope that this is the beginning of you liberating your thought. Let your thoughts go crazy. come up with the ideas. It is the beginning of creation and innovation. It is just probably one of the most liberating experiences that you will ever have. Anna, I want to shout out to you. You have captured the NHI experience in all the way through in a way that, I mean, I was sitting there in tears because it's so true. Everything that you said is so beautifully and so well executed and stated. And I appreciate all your words. Ernie and I are actually at a crossroad right now, and we're facing a very difficult challenge. And we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But your words motivate us because we believe in our programs, and we believe we have to stand true in who we are, what we do, and why we do it. So I know that all of this is leading you to college. And I wanted to leave you with a couple of questions. Why do you think you in particular were selected? You know, I look at all of you and I know how special you are, but I want you to really sincerely value the fact that you are so distinct from everybody else. We see it. We see it even now at your age and stage and whatever grade you're in, or the fact that you're graduating. You, and then in addition to that, the fact that you've been through the great debate, you've been through the LDZ, and now the Collegiate World Series, you've been through Celebración, you've been through so many thought series. And I want you to ask yourself, why have we been doing this? What is our purpose? What is NHI's vision for training you? And it's very important that you understand that we do have a rationale for you to be engaged. So this leads me to a question that you're going to have to answer in the next 5 years. One of the questions that I used to ask in the early CWSs was, how many of you plan to return home after college? And there would be, out of 150 kids in the audience, there would be like maybe 5 or 7 or 10 kids that would raise their hands. And I would be struck by the fact that symbolically, home was being interpreted as someplace away, not necessarily living next door to mom and dad. And I thought, well, if they don't want to be in the same hometown, does that mean that they don't want to be inside the Latino community either? And it's really a serious question. We have been training you because you are the seeds that will inspire the next generation. And so before you take off, before you take flight, before you think about creating and leveraging your assets to anywhere else, remember that we promote community equity building. Every single talent that you develop has a place inside our community. And we hope that you see yourself as lending that talent, leveraging that talent, inspiring that talent inside our community, and especially inside NHI, because we need you as senior counselors, as future education directors, as future trainers, as future SOSs. It's you. You're the ones that are going to run NHI. It's you. So I encourage you to really use IBL. Think about it. Think about why we're investing in you. I know why. I hope you'll understand too. Ernesto?
I don't know how long I'm going to be, not but a couple of minutes. You're not ships in the dark passing through. You're recognizable assets that'll have a lot to do with the future of the National Hispanic Institute. The Great Debate and the LDZ and the CWS are only initial learning models that are designed for you to learn about yourself in competition, how you work on your own by yourself, how you work with others, how you articulate, how well you present yourself, whether or not you can sell an idea or not, whether you can gain the confidence of other people or not to support your ideas or to support what you're running from or for, not from to. But the idea is initial. Part two allows you the opportunity to look at NHI as a tool for development of the future Latino community. I want you to make sure you understand this. When we talk about community equity building, it's a departure from civil rights. I want you to know that. What we're saying is that we are into the game of asset development. When Gloria and I started the organization, a lot of people had a lot of problems when we would say, we don't want to change the world. We want to change kids. We want to change the attitudes about themselves, towards their parents, towards their communities. We want them to love their communities, embrace their communities, see themselves as assets in their communities. They had a hard time doing that. They thought, well, they're backwards, they're old, they're out of space. We got to go on and find our own world. No, not right, wrong. But we had to provide for them experiences that they could see themselves as assets and valuable products to our community. You know what's interesting is that it's happening, but it's taken a long time, 40 plus years. Your job is to add on to that, build that foundation even stronger and wider. NHI is the vehicle through which you can do that. But to participate in NHI, you got to read Third Reality, not just quote it. You got to really get into that book and understand. Because I went through I went through denial. I went through being ashamed of my community. I went to telling people I didn't speak Spanish very well. I went into shunning my neighbors. I went into thinking that by moving away, I would somehow come back as their champion. All of those things were wrong. And I needed to learn how to be humble and respectful. And I needed to learn how to understand the value of who I was. And I really do appreciate what my parents did. They forgave me for it, but I confessed to them. So NHI was designed for you to refine yourself, relearn about yourself, relearn about really what makes your heart happy and valuable. So I want you to know that step 2 for you is learning the theory and concepts and learning how to apply them in programs as volunteer staff, as project directors, as program analysts, as program specialists. Come and try your ideas. Now, don't forget about it, because it's not all in college and what college is going to. College is great, and all of you should go and become doctors. And that's fantastic. But that's not going to make a life difference in society. What's going to make a life difference in society is what thoughts you bring to it. And you're going to have to prove to society that your ideas are worthwhile exploring, worthwhile joining, and worthwhile pursuing. This is what I love about 43 years in action. We are now an institution that's recognized and respected. And so we went through those growing pains. And now you're taking it from there and taking it to another level. So thank you. We're honored and humbled by your persistence to be part of this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart and behalf of Gloria and my entire family. And no, we're not through. We're not retired. I want you to know that. We are not in the field anymore. But we're thinking and putting budgets together and creating new programs and new ideas. We have an 8th grade program that I would like for y'all to know about. Little 8th graders who don't know any, little Twinkies out there, barely little flowers. And I want you to learn how to work with them, because they're very special kids as well. So what we're doing now is creating 8th grade programs, 9th grade programs, 10th grade programs, 11th grade programs, 12th grade programs, and college programs. We're an institute. We're going to need faculty, volunteers, trainers. That's you.
And you guys are so good already. You're so good already.
So we're going to need you to help create a national and internationally respected institution of value to our community. Julio, thank you one more time.
John.
As always.
Yeah. Nicole.
Long time friends. Nicole, great comments.
Yeah.
To all of you, thank you and good evening.
Well, I don't know whose idea it was to have me follow them, but I will give it a shot. When I started with NHI, I was younger than you guys are now. And over the course of my lifetime, there has been, apart from my family, one constant, and that has been this organization. And the things that have brought me back year after year have been the young people I get to work with. You guys are the inspiration. You are the renewal. Every time I finish a program, I'm physically tired, but intellectually renewed because I get so much out of watching you guys develop and grow. And to have at least a little part of that is humbling. And Ernie and Gloria will tell you, I was never the guy to be in the spotlight. I wanted to be in the background and to create the experience and to help other people, to push other people to the front. And so I'm really excited to see where you guys will go next. We talk about this as some mysterious in the future, and it's not. It's here. It's now.
I know it's happening now, honey.
You guys have the capacity as 17, 18-year-olds to go out and make a real difference in the lives of other people. So your challenge going forward is not so much about what you do individually, but what impact you have on others around you and what legacy you're going to leave behind. So with that, I guess this concludes this program. I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, to let me work with you. And I can't wait to see what you guys are going to do next. Thank you all so much.
Remember a picture at the end that would just wave.